What's up, everybody? This is going to be a video about my semester one nursing experience. All right, so we're going to start off with these questions here. I'm just going to go ahead and read them and then answer them as we go. So question number one, what classes were you taking? So this semester one, I was taking 4 classes. The first one, I'll tell you the numbers as well. So the first one was Foundations of Nursing, which was also 500. 555 was Med Surg 1. There's a second part of that for semester 2. 578 was Health Assessment. And then 582, the fourth and final class, was Pathophysiology 1. There's also going to be a Pathophysiology next semester, semester 2. 15 units total. Med Surg was the big one with 7 units. What was your schedule? So our schedule was varying. So weeks 1 through 4, it was different than weeks 5 to 12, because 5 to 12 we had our clinical as well as lecture, which was all online, as well as labs. So I'll just tell you the 5 through 12, weeks 5 through 12. It was basically Monday or Tuesday was lecture, was clinical, regardless of where you, depending on where you went. So some of us, like myself, went to a hospital. Mine was on Monday. Other people also went on Monday, but to a skilled nursing facility. And then other people went to a skilled nursing facility, but on Tuesday. So you either got Monday or Tuesday off. All right. Then Wednesday, it was basically, we had 2 classes online. We had Med Surg, and then we had Foundations. And then Thursday, we had class all day long with Health Assessment. And then Friday in the afternoon, we had Pathophysiology. How did COVID affect your schedule? So COVID made all our classes virtual learning for us. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be virtual learning from this point forward. We'll see. But semester 1 was all virtual. I had no classes in person. The only time I would go in person was for the hands-on stuff, for the labs, learning clinical stuff like catheter insertion, removal, nasogastric tube insertion, removal, anything like that. We had to go in there. How to do vital signs. Those things were done in person. Okay, but anything with lecture, it was all virtual. None of it was in person. How did COVID-19 affect your clinical? So for me personally, COVID-19 didn't affect me. I had to wear a mask. Obviously, everyone in the hospital wore a mask. I think for the skilled nursing facility students, they were required to take weekly COVID-19 tests to make sure that they were not positive. So that's kind of how they impacted them. How much free time did you have? So this is a good question here. There was very little free time. I enjoy working out, and that's also the second part of this question. Did you have time to exercise? I'm a kinesiology major. I love to work out, and I had very little time to do that. Towards the end of the semester, I started working out on Saturday mornings, but anytime I spent not studying, it was eating or sleeping. I found no time to exercise. So what I started doing was I brought my treadmill into my room and I put my iPad there so I could listen to the class and walk on the treadmill at the same time. That was literally the only time I could exercise. Other than that, I was staring at a screen all day, okay, for 10 hours a day, reading books. All our books were online as well, so I was literally in front of a screen all day, and then I wasn't able to exercise or really do anything. I wasn't even really able to hang out with my kids or my wife. Okay, so they would always ask me, hey, can we play a game? I'm like, sorry guys, I got to study. And it was rough. So if you have kids, it's going to be hard. Okay, they obviously need your attention and time, and you don't really have much of that. So you're going to find balance. And that's what they talk about too, find balance. But they make it real hard with reading 30 chapters a week. It's just kind of unrealistic reading that much. But you do the best you can. I tried to read as much as I can. It wasn't 30 chapters. I would kind of skim through it. But like I said, you got to do the best you can. So, okay, next question here. How long was the semester? So normally the semester is 16 weeks. Okay, some people do quarters. We are doing semesters. However, for summer, for some reason, they decided, hey, let's change it from 16 weeks to 12 weeks. And did they reduce the amount of work? They said they did. I don't know if they did or not, but we had a 12-week semester, and it was rough. Okay, so anyone who's out there who's thinking about doing 12-week semesters with nursing school, good luck, because you're going to need it, okay? Okay, how was the workload? So the workload was a lot. Some of the classes, assigned, hey, just read 4 or 5 chapters, but each chapter is like 40 pages, 50 pages. Okay, patho, it was like 200 slides and you had to know it all. We had a quiz every 2 weeks, so it was a lot of material. Doing the health assessment was like rehearsing it and doing it over and over again, just so many times, so you don't forget anything. We had to do a head-to-toe assessment. That was the main thing for that class, and it was worth a lot of points. So you got to make sure that you don't miss a system, the eyes or the ears or the abdomen, because if you did, you did something in the wrong order, it would knock your grade down. So you got to make sure that you're spending enough time and not trying to cram. Were there nights that I crammed? Absolutely there was. Were there days and nights that I was able to study sufficiently so that when I took the quiz, I didn't have to cram? Yes. But it's not always going to be like that. And I try to manage my time so that I was not cramming, but it's inevitable. Okay, so did you work during school? Luckily for me, I did not have to work. Okay, I had my wife to help me pay for everything. So bless her soul. She was able to take care of all the bills, but I do know of a few of my classmates who were working during this program, and they were able to make it work. So I think one of them was a CNA or LVN or something. So they do work like that. So it's still relevant. It's not like they're doing baker's work or something. They're working in the field of nursing, and it's relevant, or they're working in a hospital on the weekend, part time. But for me, like I said, I had no free time. It's difficult. It's a difficult program. This is an entry-level master's program. It's 2 parts. The first 5 semesters, you earn your bachelor degree, and it's pre-licensure. We take the NCLEX, we pass the NCLEX, and then we start taking the classes for the master's degree in nursing. So you earn 2 degrees with this program. Okay, how many hours a week did you study? This is a good question. This is a very good question. Okay, I personally spent probably about 40 hours a week easily. Okay, because my weekend, I would try to do something with the kids and the family and wife, but other than that, I would get back to studying, because literally every second I wasted, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get that back again. I would come in here and work out. I tried to whenever things got too stressful, but I really was always studying, and when I wasn't studying, I was on vacation. Even when I was on vacation, I still studied. So literally always studying. And when I wasn't studying, like I said, I was eating, hanging out with the kids, taking a 30-minute break, eating lunch with the kids or eating dinner with the kids, maybe watching, 30 minutes of a show with the kids. So not very much time for free time or anything other than studying. So yeah, I would say like 40 hours a week, and the high end was probably like closer to 50 some hours a week. I tried to cut off the studying like 11:30, but that stopped like week 7 or week 8 because things started getting a little bit more hectic towards the end of the semester. Did you have to get up to date for vaccinations? So yes, they actually wanted us to be up to date with the vaccinations. They wanted us to be up to date, obviously, with like the measles, the mumps, rubella, get titers done for all of these vaccinations. But they basically want you up to date with your flu shot, just everything. They want you up to date with everything, because think about it, the population we're dealing with, there's a lot of sick people here, and the last thing you want to do is get somebody sick who's already sick. It's just going to add on to them. So yeah, they want you up to date. Now, I don't think they required us to get the COVID-19 vaccination. I got the COVID-19 vaccination, but I don't think it's a requirement. Like I said, when we met in person, for the most part, we were already wearing masks, so everyone was pretty much going to be good. And we even had face shields for any times that we were real close with each other. So for my overall experience of nursing school, it was stressful. Okay, I didn't get to exercise like I normally would. I spent a lot of my time studying, face in front of a screen. My eyes, they were strained a lot of the time. But nonetheless, I learned a lot of stuff. It was cool to learn stuff in lab and then go and apply it to real life person in the clinical setting. Lab was cool because I was just using, like mannequin material, like rubber material, for the catheter insertion and the nasogastric insertion and all these different skills that I need to learn. So it was cool. There was a lot of things that I just didn't know before that I know now, learning about these drugs that people are taking, what does it do to the body? How does it affect the body? Knowing the adverse effects of it. It's crazy the amount of stuff that you learn in nursing school. I would have never guessed, 10 years ago that, hey, I'd be in nursing school, earning a bachelor and then earning a master's. Like, who would have ever guessed that? I wouldn't have guessed that. So I'm here for a reason. Semester 2 is on its way. I'm trying to enjoy my month off and register for my classes, get all that stuff sorted out. Try to organize my binder, try to organize my iPad, because it was a mess towards the end there. So I think that's key for semester two. I got to stay organized. I got to stay with my time. There was times during semester one where I was 2 weeks out on assignments completed, and that helped out a lot because they're just like little assignments that I could do real quick, as opposed to the first like 4 weeks of semester one. I had a couple of assignments late. I was rushing with it. I was just, it was bad. I wasn't managing my time well, but I got the hang of it. I started completing assignments 2 to 3 weeks out, and that really saved me some time because, like I said, every second mattered. I'm like, oh shoot, I need every second possible to study for this exam, and I can't have 4 assignments that are due tomorrow or due tonight at midnight. And then I had to watch out for the due date and due time because sometimes there would be these random assignments that are due at 8 in the morning. And I'm like, oh shoot, this is due at 8 in the morning. Everything is due at midnight. All of a sudden I have one assignment due at 8 in the morning. So got to keep track on that. But other than that, between juggling that and the kids, trying to make sure each one of them, has breakfast and lunch, it was a little bit of a stressful situation. But nonetheless, we got through it. So like I said, I'm going to enjoy this month off, and I'm going to go ahead and record after semester two is done and let you know how I managed semester two. I think I ended the semester with a 3.12 or 3.2. It was somewhere around there, 3 point something. But I passed, and so I'm moving on. And yeah, if there's any other questions, go ahead and comment below, and I'll get back to you on them as soon as I can. All right. Hope you enjoyed this.